Imagine Switzerland. The mind instantly conjures a specific image, an alpine paradise defined by snow-capped peaks, luxury chocolate, and a culture of quiet, polite neutrality. We cling to this idyllic picture, but in geopolitical terms, Western civilization understands the real Switzerland about as well as it understands the ancient Mesoamericans. Beneath the frozen scenery lies a jagged history. This nation was forged by relentless political passions, sectarian conflict, and intellectual radicalism. This fairy tale perception is more than a misunderstanding. It is a force that is actively eroding the actual identity of the country. Medieval Swiss communities built massive stone strongholds designed to lock down trade routes and secure mountain passes. These were survival mechanisms built to withstand the encroaching power of the Habsburg dynasty. Religious spaces served a similar purpose. The heavy, crude masonry of St. Pierre Cathedral functioned like a fortress, projecting physical power during the economic expansion and post-Reformation wars of the 15th century. Geography mandated this culture of defense. With only a few mountain passes allowing entry, the inhabitants turned the entire territory into an impenetrable, fortified network. The harsh, isolated realities of rural mountain life gave rise to winter traditions that were often strange, mysterious, and truly grotesque. Locals recognized figures like the soot-faced Schmutzli, who arrived as a warning to the wicked, and the animalistic bear, who represented evil in its entirety. During the traditional Fasnacht carnivals, performers adopt incredibly disturbing masks and elaborate costumes. These rituals were created to ward off spirits and navigate the psychological toll of the long mountain winters. Even the famous national dish, fondue, actually began in very poor rural households. It was a survival strategy designed to make a meal from scraps during the months of isolation. Swiss gastronomy and local folklore were forged in a crucible of extreme survival. They were not created for leisure. While the world viewed Switzerland as a passive, neutral observer, the nation was functioning as a radical intellectual engine room. This grand, imposing edifice is the famous ETH Zurich. Established in the mid-1800s, it became a national center for technology, where architects, mathematicians, and chemists collaborated to push the boundaries of scientific research. Mathematicians like Leonhard Euler and the Bernoulli family used this isolated environment to focus on theoretical breakthroughs. They mapped the properties of complex numbers, creating a system to delineate physical space and time with mathematical precision. These models provided the theoretical framework for Victorian-era engineering. They directly informed the development of electricity and the telegraph, and later, the paradigms of relativity and simultaneity. While neighboring nations fought physical wars, Switzerland engineered the intellectual framework of the modern era. The true Swiss identity is a three-dimensional record of brutal defense, survivalist folklore, and specialized genius. Today, mass tourism treats this history as a flat commodity. Travelers flock to these sites for superficial beauty and cheap getaways, often ignoring the depth of the culture they are visiting. This dynamic echoes historical colonization. Just as the customs of the Philippines were historically overshadowed by foreign powers, the sheer volume of tourist masses now threatens to drown local Swiss authenticity under the weight of foreign expectation. To preserve this heritage, we must adopt sustainable tourism. This means providing the financial support necessary to maintain historical sites and making a conscious effort to engage with the actual history of the land. If we continue to look only for the picturesque facade, our desire for a simple fairy tale will eventually erase the revolutionary culture that built the nation.